I'm Ethan Kai with the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform, and today we're going to Georgetown University to find out what students think about the recent Hong Kong protests. Do they think Hong Kong should be an independent state or not? And also, what do these students think about capitalism versus socialism? Let's find out. Do you think that Hong Kong should be able to be their own independent democracy?
I do think so.
Definitely.
I think self-determination of people is important.
If they're fighting for independence or to be their own country, then I don't see why not.
Absolutely. I think that rules are rules, but if we want to change the rules, the way to do it is unite and just fight back against the government. So all the power to them.
I believe that Hong Kong should be granted their own independent democracy. However, I understand it is never as simple as that.
I do sympathize with the protesters, especially given the freedom of speech circumstances, but I have not yet come to a judgment about the independent state part.
These protesters in Hong Kong, they're using the American flag as a symbol of democracy and freedom. But here in our own country, we've seen people burn the flag and protest it and say it's offensive. Why do you think there's that disparity in the way that people view the flag?
Definitely because America portrays itself as the perfect democracy.
Because I guess people here have been subjected to some of the bad sides of capitalism in America.
I think that flying the American flag in Hong Kong is deeply problematic.
History of slavery and oppression is something that has still implications today, and I think the flag, in a way, is you can't really disentangle that from the flag in the country.
I think Americans view it that way because they live here, for one. They can see the ins and outs of our government and how people are treated, more so than if someone on the outside were looking in.
We've always been portrayed as kind of this idealistic democratic society, and it's just not true. So other countries view whatever we put out, but the realities are why people are burning the flag.
Everywhere but America, the American flag represents something, true, a kind of system of values. And so I think them using it in Hong Kong is almost hollow.
Because people want to see certain changes, they sort of tend to, find everything that's wrong with America without really realizing how much privilege and rights we do still have. Some people want to burn it, some people represent it as a freedom. Then it's just opinions, and I think that the important part is being able to have that opinion and being able to voice it, not so much of the actions behind it.
I think because in America we're lucky enough to have all these freedoms guaranteed to us no matter our circumstances, but people outside of the U.S., most of them are not born with those freedoms. So I think with not all people, but I think that some people who are granted those freedoms at birth, sometimes it's difficult to not appreciate them as much.
Would you personally rather live in a capitalist society or a socialist society?
I would rather live in a socialist society that is democratic.
But I personally tend to lean towards socialism.
I don't know if I should be answering that on camera. Yeah. No, I'm definitely a socialist. However, I think that what we see in the fantastic theoretical books in the library and what we see on the ground is unfortunately starkly different.
That's a tough question to ask, sir, but I think that both have benefits to them. A socialist society fundamentally agrees with just all helping each other versus a capitalist society pushes us to make money.
I know in America, the history of capitalism has been somewhat racist. So there are good things and bad things about both. Personally, I think we could benefit from living in a more socialist government.
I guess a society that has elections and democratic control over the workplace. So workers own the places they work in. It's not owned by one person at the top. That's what I mean by a socialist democracy.
In a perfect world, I would love to live in a socialist society. However, in the world that we live in, capitalism does seem to be the society in which our democratic freedoms are taken for granted, or at least they were until recently.
Would you personally rather live in a capitalist society or a socialist society?
Capitalist.
Capitalist?
Capitalism. I feel like capitalism drives, invention and innovation and creates a productive society and has been successful in the past. So that's sort of what I lean towards.
People have opportunities to move up the ranks in the world of a capitalist government.
I feel like because the examples of socialist societies on Earth have mostly been coming with authoritarian governments, and I don't want to live under an authoritarian government. If there was a socialist society that was not curtailing civil liberties, that would work. And I think some of the maybe Nordic countries are some sort of that, European Nordic countries, some sort of that balance. But overall, if it's like authoritarianist socialism, then I don't think it's a good way of running a country.
Both my parents are economists, and I think that a capitalist system can generally benefit the people, even if I think both systems are inherently flawed, but I think that capitalism allows for more freedom for the people.
Oh, well, hello there. I'm Captain Phillips with Campus Reform. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to join our team, we're always looking for new investigators, correspondents, and tipsters. Click right here to learn more about that. If you want to donate to help us make more videos like the one you just saw, click that button there. And if you want to be among the first person to see all of our new content, click that subscribe button right over there. Thanks so much. Hey, I didn't hear you click anything. Did they click one yet?